Good morning, students. Welcome back to microprocessor and microcontroller online video lectures. Here we are going to start the second unit. In this class I am going to give the introduction and some of the important definitions in the second unit. And we completed the first unit with only incompletion of one topic, that is instruction set of 8086 microprocessor. That instruction set will be completed in one class by using one PPT presentation. So at the end of the second unit I am going to cover that whatever we left the topic in the first unit, in the second unit we are going to cover that. The second unit name is Assembly Language Programming and Interfacing of 8086 microprocessor. Two things we are going to discuss in the second unit: Assembly Language Programming and the interfacing. What is assembly language? We know that the microprocessor is a machine which can understand only machine language. The language must be in zeros and ones. But we know the language only that is with the alphabets of English. Writing the program with the English alphabets, that is called assembly language program. But that can't be understood by the machine. So that a device, a program which is going to convert the assembly language program into machine language, that is called assembler. One of the definition: assembler is going to convert assembly language program into machine language, where the assembly language program is in English alphabets, whereas machine language program is in the binary form. Here we are going to study that particular assembly language program of 8086 microprocessor. After that, the assembler is going to convert that assembly language program into machine language, which can be read by the processor, because processor is a machine. And coming to the second part of the second unit, that is interfacing. Interfacing is, we know that 8086 microprocessor standalone cannot make any function. It has to be interfaced with input output devices. It has to be interfaced with memory, it has to interface with some counters, it has to interface with some input output devices. Then only it can read the instructions from the memory, it can accept the data, binary data from the input output devices. Based on the given instruction, that instructions are going to perform some operation on the given data, so that it execute some function, it will give some output, it will accomplish one specific function. So that the microprocessor standalone cannot make any function, so that it has to be interfaced with some input output devices, and some input output devices, how they are going to interface with the 8086 microprocessor to accomplish a specific function, we are going to discuss as the second part of the second unit. First part is how to write assembly language program for the 8086 microprocessor. Second part, how the input output devices can be interfaced with the 8086 microprocessor. Then I am going with the introduction. We know the microprocessor. Microprocessor is a multi-purpose, clock triggered, and it is a programmable logic device which reads the instructions from the memory, and it can accept the binary data as input from the input devices, and instructions are going to operate on that particular data, so that they will give the output on the output device. The processor will give the output on the output device, and in such a way that is going to work. In entire this operation, instruction has been doing some operation on the data. Instruction is nothing but the set of instructions is called as program. We have defined the microprocessor. Then what is the function of microprocessor? We have explained in the first unit itself only. Microprocessor is a multi-purpose, clock triggered, and it is a programmable logic device which reads the instruction from the memory and it accepts the binary data from the input, and based on the given instructions it is going to perform some operation on the data and such that it delivers the output. It is the functionality of the microprocessor. In entire operation, and the processor has been going with some instructions. To accomplish a specific function, the processor has been going with some instruction. That set of instructions are named as program. Set of instructions is nothing but program. That instructions tells to the processor. Instructions tells to the processor what it has to do exactly. It instructs the processor what it has to do exactly, so that the set of instructions are named as program. The programming is nothing but it is a set of instruction. We are writing a set of instruction, which tells to the processor what it has to do exactly. That is called programming. Writing a set of instruction. We are writing some set of instruction. Set of instruction is nothing but program, and we are writing that set of instructions. Which tells to the processor what it has to do exactly, which function it has to perform exactly. The instructions or the program is going to tell to the processor, and that program is nothing but assembly language program. Assembly language program is developed by the programmer, but it can't be understood by the microprocessor, because microprocessor is a machine. It can understand only machine language, that will be in zeros and ones. We are developing the program is in assembly language, but whereas the microprocessor can read the instructions, we will read the instructions in the binary form only, so that the assembler which is going to take the assembly language program and it will convert into the machine language which can be readable by the microprocessor. The definition of assembler. Assembler is a program which is going to convert assembly language program into the machine language. Assembly language program is developed by the programmer. Program is nothing but it is a set of instruction which tell to the processor what exactly it has to do. Programming is nothing but writing some set of instructions which tells to the processor what exactly it has to perform a specific function. This is the program, this is programming. In writing the assembly language programming, and the programmer should go with 4 steps. In writing assembly language programming, the programmer has to go with these 4 steps. First one, the programmer should know what exactly the problem is. Before going to develop an assembly language program, the programmer should know what exactly the problem, what exactly the task we wanted to, the processor has to accomplish. The programmer should know what exactly the problem, what exactly the task the microprocessor has to perform. And the second step is nothing but designing the solution. That means what? Based on a problem, the programmer should able to develop a program. That is nothing but set of instruction. Based on after identifying a problem, after identifying a task, the programmer should able to develop a program. That is nothing but it is a set of instruction. He should able to develop the program which is a set of instruction. That program has to accomplish that particular function. And coming to the third one is coding. The programmer has developed the programming is in assembly language, but that can't be understood by the processor. So that coding is nothing but each instruction in the assembly language program will be converted into machine language, that is called coding. Assembly language program which is having some set of instruction, step by step each step will be converted into a machine language, that is binary form of instruction, that convert into the binary form of instruction. That process is called as coding. After coding, that another step is nothing but debugging. Generally debugging is used for verifying the errors and correcting the errors. By using this step, it can know whether the specified task has been accomplished, specifying task is completing or not. Likewise you can verify by using the debugging. In case of writing the assembly language program for 8086 microprocessor, the programmer should go with these 4 steps. First one, he must be able to identify what exactly the problem is. That means what exactly the task the microprocessor has to perform. Second one, based on the given question, the programmer should be able to develop the assembly language program. And after that, that assembly language program must be converted into code which can be readable by the processor. And after that, we have to test whether the specified task has been performed or not, we should know. And by using the debugging process, we can identify the errors and we can correct the errors in the coding. This is about debugging. Then programmer should know, then if you conclude these 3, programmer should know, that is what? Developing a programming logic. Programming logic is nothing but, after knowing the problem, we must be able to know the developing of programming logic is nothing but, we must be able to write the program, that is developing the program. And coding, assembler will convert into the assembly language program into the machine language. Last one is testing, that is nothing but it is a debugging. These 3 steps are very, very important when you are executing some instruction using the 8086 microprocessor. First one, we must know what exactly the problem and what exactly the task has been completed, what exactly the task has to be completed by the 8086 microprocessor. Based on that work, based on that object, the programmer has to be in a position to develop the assembly language program that will be converted into coding, and after that, that will be verified in the debugging for the errors or in the case of testing. This is about the complete steps required to write the assembly language program. Then I am going with the assembly language program. What exactly the assembly language program? We know that we are speaking the language is English. Now we are speaking the language is English. Because each of us very familiar with English such that whatever I am speaking you are getting now. But here in the microprocessor can able to understand the language is called binary language only. It understand only machine language. But if a programmer wanted to write the program in the machine language or binary form, he has to memorize or he has to remember many instructions. Practically it can't possible, because binary form it will be represented with the zeros and ones only. If a programmer wanted to program of 8086 microprocessor in binary form or machine language, he has to remember or he has to memorize some millions of instructions. It can't be possible practically, so that we are adopting one particular language that is very easy to make that programming easy. To make the programming easy, we are adopting one particular language that is called as assembly language program. To make programming easier, usually programmers write the program in assembly language program. Assembly language programs make use some short form of English words only, So here it is very difficult to write the program in the binary form or in the machine language, so that we are depending on another language that is called assembly language programming. and to make programming is easier, usually programs write the program in assembly language so that an assembler convert that assembly language program into the machine language, which can be readable by the microprocessor or a machine, and which machine language so that it can be loaded into the memory and it can be executed. And this is about assembly language program. Programmers write the program in assembly language because it is very difficult to write the program in machine language. If we wanted to write the program in the machine language for the 8086 microprocessor, we have to memorize, we have to remember many instructions that will be in zeros and ones. It is practically not possible, so that we are depending on assembly language program. Assembly language program uses 2-letter, 3-letter, 4-letter English words. 2-letter, 3-letter, 4-letter English words which represents the instruction. In the addressing modes, we have discussed some of the instruction. Move AX comma BX. Move is an instruction. That means what? Instruction is specified in short form. Instruction is what? Move. MOVE. But short form we are representing, that is with MOV. That means what? Assembly language program uses 2-letter, 3-letter, 4-letter English words which represents short form of instruction. For example, an instruction is specified as JMP. That means what? Jump. That means these instructions are saying the processor to jump from one location to another location to access the data. For example, an instruction is given as ADD. It is a 3-letter instruction. Add. That means what? It has to perform addition. Instruction is SUB. That is sub. Sub means subtraction. It has to perform the subtraction of 2 hexadecimal numbers. Assembly language program uses the 2-letter, 3-letter, 4-letter English words and which represents the instructions, The short form of those instructions are 2-letter, 3-letter, 4-letter English words in the assembly language program is named as mnemonics. This is very, very important. The short form of instruction is named as mnemonic. And we know that program is nothing but it is some set of instruction. One is instruction, step by step, the processor is going to execute some set of instruction. Each line in the program, each line in the assembly language program is named as assembly text. Each line in the assembly language program is named as assembly text. That means what? Program, it contains some set of instructions, one instruction by another, one instruction after another, Likewise, it can have some set of instruction, and each line in this program is named as assembly text. Assembly text will have the 4 types of body. Assembly text will have the 4 bodies. First one is named as the label. It is optional only. Whether you remember the label, you can represent in the instruction, in the programming. If you don't remember any labeling, you simply avoid to write that one. That is labeling. Mnemonic, second part is nothing but mnemonic. Mnemonic is nothing but it is a short form of instruction. Is called mnemonic. Jump can be written as JMP. Addition can be written as ADD. And next one, subtraction can be written as SUB. And it is case sensitive. Assembly language program is case sensitive. Then here, this is first part and the second part. Third part, we are going to have the operands. Operands, we have given the definition of operand. Operand is nothing but data on which instructions are going to operate is called operand. data on which we are going to operate some instruction. For example, I am having the two data 22H, 32H. Instruction is add. Two data I am having 22H, 12H, and instruction is add. That means what? These two has to be added. That means what? This instruction is add, so that it is specifying that these two numbers has to be added. Instruction has been operating on these two data, and these two are named as operands. Operand is nothing but the data on which instructions can be operated. That is called operand. We know that operands can be two types. One is source operand, another one is destination operand. This operand 2 is named as source operand, and this operand 1 is named as destination operand. This is source operand and this one is destination operand. As I told, assembly text, that means what? Each line in a assembly language program is named as assembly text. It is divided into 4 bodies. That line is divided into 4 bodies. Each body is separated by a space. Here space, here space, here space. First one is what? Label, it is optional. Second one is mnemonic, short form of instruction. Third part of the assembly text is operands. Operands is nothing but the data on which the processor is going, the instruction is going to operate. This is source operand and destination operand. And the last one is comment. That means what? By using this instruction, what exactly the operation is going to be accomplished, what exactly the task is going to complete, by using this comment we will come to know. That is, comment is what? It tells what the instruction trying to do. It tells what the what the instruction is trying to do, so that it is nothing but it is the exact operation what we are going to carry by using that instruction. It is going to represent it in the comment. I am going with one particular example. Example that is, again here label is nothing but it is an optional field and it is also called as identifier. Mnemonic is nothing but short form of instruction. And operands, there are 2 operands we know, we have discussed, that is in the addressing modes of 8086 microprocessor, that is source operand and destination operand. Last one is a comment which tells what exactly the instruction trying to do. And by holding this particular standard form of assembly text, which is nothing but it is one line in the program, and we are going with one example, that is again add AX 1200H. That means what? I am going to change this one because this is new to us, and we are going with the old instruction, that is move. We studied the many instructions with us, many operations with the move in addressing modes. Here again is what? It is a label, it is optional. If you remember this label, you can write in the program, otherwise simply leave that one. Coming to the next one, instruction, that is mnemonic is what here? Mnemonic is move. It is short form of instruction. Mnemonic is nothing but here move, and it is short form of instruction. And here this is a destination operand, it is a source operand. Destination operand is what? AX. AX is nothing but it is a 16-bit accumulator register, and this is one number is specified in a matrix box. That means what? Brackets. That means what? It is a offset address. Which type of addressing mode it is? Which type of addressing mode? It is indirect addressing mode. It is indirect register addressing mode. Now a number specified in the bracket, matrix bracket, so that what it is specifying? It is specifying the offset address in the execution unit. Offset address in execution unit, so that this is what it is. 1200H, it is the offset address, and 1200H stands for hexadecimal, and that will be given to the bus interfacing unit, where we can have the segment address. Both the offset address and segment address will generate the physical address. Physical address is in 20 bit and which identifies one memory location of 1 megabyte. One memory location of 1 byte. In entire 1 megabyte of memory. So that by using this offset address and the segment address is there in the execution bus interfacing unit, it develops the one memory location in the outside the microprocessor, and from that memory location whatever the data is there, that will be accessed by the microprocessor and that will be moved into the accumulator register, that is AX. Because instruction is what? Here the instruction is move, so that you can easily understand that this is identifying the one location at the 808, one location in the 1 megabyte of memory outside to the 8086 microprocessor, and whatever the data is there in that location, that will be accessed by the microprocessor such that that data will be moved into the accumulator register that is there in the 8086 microprocessor. So here in writing the assembly language programming, you should see that assembly text requires to have the instruction, it requires to operand, it requires to have the comment. And leave about label. If you remember the label is well and good, otherwise simply leave that one. Why I am particularly explaining all these things? Because in coming days we are going to study the assembly language program. In assembly language program is nothing but it is set of instructions, and each line in that program is named as, each line in the program is named as assembly text. In that assembly text we must see that assembly text requires to have the instruction short form of instruction, that is short form of instruction is called mnemonic, operand, source operand, destination operand, and the comment section. This is about the structure of assembly text in the assembly language program. And here we are writing, you may have the doubt is that we are writing the program is in assembly language, that is short form of English words, and whereas the microprocessor can understand only zeros and ones, so that here we are going to have one more program that is going to convert assembly language program into the machine language. That machine language is nothing but set of instructions are there in the binary form is called machine language. Machine language is nothing but set of instructions in the binary form is called machine language, so that assembler converts assembly language program into machine language, so that the main function of the assembler, and it is acting as an interface between the programmer and the microprocessor. It is acting as an interface, it is acting as a medium between the programmer who is writing the program is in assembly language, and it is converting into the machine language where the microprocessor require the language in the binary set of instructions only. This is about assembler. And next we are going to discuss about assembler directives. That means what? We are having the assembler and assembler directives. That means what? That directives will direct the assembler such that it converts assembly language into the machine language. Next topic in the second unit, one of the important topic, and we can expect the long answer question from the second unit, that is from the assembler directives. In the next class we are going to discuss the detail of various assembler directives. Before going to close this one, I am going to give the definition for the assembler directive. We know the assembler is a program which converts assembly language program into the machine language. Assembly language program is developed by the programmer, whereas assembler convert that assembly language program into machine language. Machine language is nothing but it is set of instructions are represented in the binary form. This can be read by the microprocessor, so that assembler to convert assembly language program into machine language, assembler has to be directed by some directives, and that directives are named as assembler directives, and we are going to discuss that assembly directives in the coming class. And here you require to remember that the functionality of the microprocessor, it execute the instructions on the given data such that it performs a specific function. That set of instructions nothing but programming. Set of instruction tell to the processor what it has to do exactly, and in writing the program, programmer should know what exactly the problem, what exactly the task has to be completed by the processor. Second one, he must able to develop a code, he must able to write the program, and next one is he must able to test that one. That is about the function, that is about the task has to be fulfilled by the programmer. This is about programmer. And that what is the need of assembly language program? We are unable to remember and memorize those binary instructions, and so that we are depending on another programming language, that is assembly programming language, assembly language, and such that we are converting that is into the machine language, and this is the structure of each line in that assembly language program. And here this is here mnemonic, operand 1, operand 2, and this is comment, and this is the example for one particular assembly text in the assembly language program. And tomorrow class I am going to explain about assembler directives, and with the 2 classes assembler directives will be completed. From that we can expect one long answer question. After that we are going to study about interfacing with the some input output devices, some peripheral devices, how they will be interfaced with microprocessor we are going to discuss. Thank you.